You have entered the Creators Lounge. Be prepared to spotlight the industry's key opportunities and challenges, to inspire the community with innovative solutions, and spark the imagination of the next generation. Be prepared to dream big and lift one another up. You will have the help of hosts Nikki Gonzalez, Jim Mayer, Drew Crow, Megan Zimba, Chris Lou Key, and Amy Seymour. This moment requires a fresh perspective, innovative minds, a willingness to disrupt, and a need to inspire the extraordinary. This is the moment for the Creators Lounge.
The Creators Lounge is proud to welcome Domin.
Hello, Marcus. Welcome to IMTS. We're very happy to have you today. Could you tell me a bit more about your background and how you got into the manufacturing technology field?
Hi, Kathy. It's great to be here, and it's incredible to be at this amazing show. The energy, the enthusiasm in all of the halls is fantastic. Yeah, my background is one of a mechanical engineer. So I studied engineering at university, but I got a little bit disillusioned with it. I fell out of love with it. It didn't seem exciting to me. And I initially tried to escape. But I met this incredible guy, his name's Andrew, and he helped me realize that through engineering and through manufacturing, you can make an impact in the world. And that drew me back into engineering and back into manufacturing. And I haven't really looked back since. And it's now the major thing in my life. And I'm a huge advocate for engineering. I'm a huge advocate for manufacturing. And I think we're demonstrating how you can create real value in the world through engineering and manufacturing.
Thank you, Marcus. And through talking to you, I understand that you have a passion for material science, engineering, additive manufacturing, and you founded a business, Domin. Could you tell me a little bit more about your startup, your journey, and your key target market? What are you passionate about?
Yeah, well, we started Domin 12 years ago now, and we're an engineering company that design, develop, manufacture, and sell hydraulic equipment. And 12 years ago seems like a long time, but we founded the company, myself and Andrew, on the desire to make an impact in the world. We wanted to make the world better, and we came across metal 3D printing, and we realized that that would give us the opportunity to make things better. And we didn't know exactly where we wanted to apply it, but we knew we wanted to use this incredible technology. The company founded with this vision of making an impact, and the start of the company was just researching this material, trying to understand what you could do with it, what the limitations were, what the opportunities were, and where we thought it would make the biggest impact. And we realized that that was hydraulics. And hydraulics was the industry that we thought we could disrupt the most and bring the most value to.
So talking about hydraulic technology, to people outside of the industry, they may not know that is an ubiquitous power that is the muscle of every machinery that we use. And could you tell me more about how you discovered this domain as an area that you're passionate in, and what are the innovation opportunities you see today and tomorrow?
Hydraulics is an incredible industry, and it's helped achieve so much in so many different areas. It's an industry that is everywhere, and it touches everything. When I think about the journey that I've been on, just from my home in the UK to this show today, I think about all the places that it's touched. You know, hydraulics is used in the brakes that stop my car that I use to get to the airport. Hydraulics are used on the flaps that help steer the aeroplane that I flew over to Chicago in. They're used in the cranes and the diggers that help build this building that we're sitting in. And it's incredible how broad that is. But remarkably, hydraulics uses the same technology that existed in the 1950s. And during that period, there was this rapid innovation in the industry through a lot of impact on human-powered flights. So we were moving towards higher, faster, bigger aircraft. And during that time, we innovated a lot within hydraulics. And we still use that same technology that was invented then today. And we realized that that opportunity was huge. And nothing has really impacted the technology since then. None of the disruptive technologies that got developed in the 20th century have had an impact in hydraulics. So the internet hasn't had a big impact. Electric motors haven't had a big impact. And we still use that same technology. And we realized that one of the major things that hydraulics benefits from is complex structures, organic structures. And what can 3D printing do? It can make almost anything. And so we started to marry these two things together, where we realized the opportunity for disruption in an industry and the benefit that metal 3D printing could bring. And we combined those two together, and that was the destination that we decided to head for.
Perfect, Marcus. Thank you so much for this. Now we're ready for a sponsor break, and when we come back, we'll delve a lot deeper into how additive 3D printing can actually help disrupt the hydraulic technology sector. Welcome to IMTS Plus Creators Lounge. Today we are very happy to have Marcus Pont, co-founder and COO of Domin. Hi, Marcus.
Hi, Kathy. It's great to be here.
So just now we talk a lot about hydraulic technology and how important it is to our industry. And we also discussed that 3D printing is a very important technology to help support next generation innovation. Could you tell me more about what Domin is planning to do or has developed?
Yeah, absolutely. So for Domin, 3D printing is really the heart of everything that we do. And we found out quite early on that the best way to make an impact with 3D printing was to go right back to the beginning. Stop trying to make small changes to parts and components and products that already exist today, but to actually take a step back and say, if we have metal 3D printing as a technology that we can use like any others, what is the best thing to do? And so we went right back to the start and asked ourselves the question, if we want to achieve this function in hydraulics, if we want to do this thing, and we have metal 3D printing, what's the best way to do that? And so at the core of all of our technology and all of our products is metal 3D printing. In using that technology, we've been able to create two completely new technologies that support the hydraulics industry. For us, those two core technologies we've developed are the ability to control hydraulic fluid really quickly, really precisely, repeatedly, that gives rise to the control valves that we use. The second piece of technology that we've developed is a hydraulic pump that is more compact, more efficient, smaller, and is able to be combined with other technology in a much more efficient way than we've ever done before. And we're really excited to see how we can combine those technologies into products, into a variety of different markets. We operate across a whole range of industries, everything through from the marine sector through to automotive, industrial, aerospace. And we're excited to see how this technology can solve some of the problems that exist. Hydraulics is really big, and we recently saw a report from McKinsey that estimated that in the EU, 15% of all the energy that's used is used in fluid pumps. Mm-hmm. And that's an astonishingly big number. And around the same time, we discovered that the Oak Ridge National Laboratory, who I believe are here in this show, did a piece of research into hydraulics and discovered that hydraulic systems on average are only 22% efficient. And that means that there is 70% of the energy that's used in hydraulic systems ready to use better. And the products and technology that we've developed have the potential to significantly increase this efficiency. And we're excited to see where these benefits can lead the industry.
That is brilliant. And when I speak to leaders in defense and aerospace who come from a more traditional manufacturing background, they're always asking about the strength of 3D printing and 3D printed parts. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's one that I think the industry still struggles to answer. When we started this company 12 years ago, we had this incredible experience where we printed something for the first time. It was a prototype that we were making, and it wasn't even actually designed for 3D printing. And we got delivered this part, and I remember holding it in my hand and looking at it and thinking, this is just a piece of metal. It's the same as any other manufacturing technique. So we then went to ask ourselves the question of how strong is this material? What are the design freedoms? And we found that nobody could give us the answers. Nobody in the industry knew how strong it was. And so at the start of the company, we spent 18 months, 2 years, just doing material science. We just did deep research into the strength of the material, the fatigue strength, what happens under different conditions, different surface finishes, different build orientations. What happens if you have big circles? What happens if you have a triangle? How does that affect the material properties? And in doing that, we've been able to feed those numbers and that information into our simulations, such that we can design structures that are more efficient, more effective, leading to lighter and better products. But it's still a question that the industry doesn't have the answer to today. How do we qualify additive for a world where people want to ensure that things don't break? Additive has the potential to do that. 3D printing can bring this benefit, but we need to understand the opportunities and the limitations of the process. And we think we've been able to solve this problem of mechanical properties in a way that delivers value to our customers.
Thank you, Marcus. And now we're ready for our next sponsor break.
Welcome to the World According to. Join me, Peter Eelman, and Travis Egan of AMT while we travel across the U.S. and talk with leaders of the manufacturing technology industry. Meet these renowned visionaries in personal, up-close settings. Hear how their passion for manufacturing took root and has continued to fuel the ideas that shape our industry today and tomorrow. Watch now and hear how these leaders answer the question, The World According to, only on IMTS Plus.
Marcus, we had a great conversation about additive 3D printing use in manufacturing. We spoke about, advancement in material science and your application of 3D printing in hydraulic technology disruption. So I'm really curious. A lot of people, they might have the conception that 3D printing is really just for prototyping versus production run. In your experience, I know that you recently purchased new machinery and have a lot of background in that. Could you talk to our community about your thoughts on this topic?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty common misconception that the biggest benefit that 3D printing brings is in prototyping. It brings a huge benefit in prototyping. It can reduce cycle times, lead times. You can iterate much more quickly. But that's only the beginning for us. The opportunity for 3D printing to really make an impact in the world is through using it as a production process. People have forgotten the foundational principles of making things and adding value. The key to using something as a production process is to start from scratch, go back to the beginning, and use it to design things that weren't possible before. The key question we ask ourselves is, by using 3D printing, can we create more value than the product costs to make? And that if we can, then we can persuade our customers to buy this product. And then you have a process that is just like any other production process. And once you've been able to create enough value, you can just use it to make things over and over and over. And we have a factory in the UK that's producing 3D printed parts 24/7, the same parts over and over and over. On some of our build plates, we have 200-300 components that are identical that we just manufacture over and again. And it's incredible. And I think it's an opportunity that the industry has to be able to say, let's know that this process is a production process and ask how we can create value with it for an ongoing production run.
Talking about making parts over and over and over again, another really interesting misconception perhaps about 3D printing is that reliability could be a challenge, especially when it comes to low tolerance parts. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, this is another challenge that we've had to really overcome as a company. How do we treat quality control? How do we ensure that our customers get the right product? And I'm really proud to say that none of our metal components have failed in our customers' use. And that's a testament to the great work that our team have done to ensure the quality of our processes. But again, we had to go back to the beginning. How do we ensure quality for printed parts? You can't do it the same way that you've done it for other things. We've decided that the best way to achieve quality control within 3D printing is to treat the printed part and the printing process as two separate things. And the printing process has an astonishing level of complexity. It's one of the things that gives us this incredible opportunity. You know, you have the powder size, you have the laser power, you have the number of lasers, the position on the bed, the parameters in the build plate. And you have all these parameters that you're trying to control and monitor. That makes it super hard. So in really simple terms, what we've done is we've said we're going to put quality control on the printed part rather than the printing. Now that's kind of against traditional in-process control, which in most other manufacturing techniques, you want to try and monitor the process during the manufacturing so that you can ensure quality and keep costs low. But we found with printing, there's too much variability between machines, between parameters, and therefore we focused on qualifying the printed part rather than the printing process.
Before I let you go, I really want to circle back to the beginning of our conversation. You talk about you left the manufacturing technology side, and now you're a massive advocate, and you're a thought leader in new technology. I'm really curious. Now you're back. What brought you back, and how do you feel about being, such a great contributor to our industry?
Yeah, well, the thing that brought me back in the end, is this colleague and friend of mine, Andrew, who was able to demonstrate to me that engineering and manufacturing had the potential to create value like almost no other industry. And for the last 12 years, we've been trying to do that. What I would say to people today is there's never been a better time to try and disrupt and bring value through manufacturing technology. Through things like metal 3D printing and the software that we have today, we can come up with new designs, new products, iterate super quickly. You can do this at home, and you can create something that was never previously possible, and through that, create value for the world.
Perfect, Marcus. It's a joy talking to you and learning from you. And how do we get in touch and find out more about your business?
I would search for us on LinkedIn. We're there under Domin, and also on our website, domin.co.
Thank you so much.